Hi, welcome to BG Vocals. My name is Billy Gollner. I am a professional singer and voice teacher based in Vancouver, Canada. If you are interested in taking private lessons with me, you can check out my website, bgvocals.com, or send me an email at billygollnermusic@gmail.com. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. There is a subscribe button just below. You can click on that button. Next to the subscribe button, you're going to see a little bell notification. If you click on that, you'll receive a notification every time I post a new video. Today, we're going to be going over 7 tips to keep your voice healthy. Let's get to it. Number 1, stay hydrated. There are 2 types of hydration to consider: systemic hydration and topical hydration. Systemic hydration comes from what you are drinking. The best thing to drink is plain water. Everyone's body requires a slightly different amount of water. I personally require a minimum of 2 to 3 liters of water a day. However, some people require more, some people require less. As a general note, most laryngologists suggest that you pee pale. This is one way of assuring that you're consuming enough water. Keep in mind that some beverages that you drink are diuretics. So anything with caffeine or alcohol in it is going to actually work to dehydrate you. So if you have a cup of coffee and then have a glass of water, the water isn't necessarily going to hydrate you, it's just going to make up for the dehydrating that came from the coffee. Topical hydration is the hydration that comes from inhaling moisture that goes on top of the vocal folds. There have been studies done that suggest topical hydration is a more effective way at hydrating the vocal folds quickly. Here are a few ways to provide topical hydration to your vocal folds. Number 1, set up a humidifier about 2 feet away from where you're sleeping. You can find humidifiers online for relatively inexpensive prices. You put water into the humidifier and it pumps moisture into the air. Number 2, you can invest in a nebulizing mask. There are a few different types of nebulizing masks. Some use saline, some use distilled water. This one uses distilled water. Essentially, you put this around your mouth, you turn it on, and then the steam comes in. However, if you can't invest in a humidifier or a nebulizing mask right now, no problem. Take a hot shower, inhale the steam. Boil some water in your kitchen. Put that hot water into a mug, take a towel, put it over your head, and just inhale it. These are all just fancy ways to inhale moisture. Vocal health tip number 2, avoid background noise. There is something called the Lombard effect. I have mentioned this in another video, but I'm going to go over it again because it's so important. The Lombard effect works in such a way that when our ears hear background noise, our brain automatically tunes out the volume of the background noise and increases the volume of the speaking voice. This is why you can go to a restaurant and your voice feels tired at the end of the evening, but you just went to a restaurant. Or you're hanging out with friends and there's music in the background and you're at a house party and the next day your voice feels raspy. This is due to the Lombard effect. What felt like speaking at the house party was actually screaming. Because the singing voice is an extension of the speaking voice, you have to take care of your voice not just when you're singing. So many times, singers will tire their voice out from activities outside of their singing, but they won't notice it until they go to sing. The problem often originates from how somebody is taking care of their speaking voice, not necessarily how they are taking care of their singing voice. So pay attention to background noise. You can download a decibel meter on your phone, and it will measure how loud a space is. Really, anything above 40 is going to be pretty tiring on the voice. When you are in loud spaces, if you couldn't reach out and touch somebody's shoulder, walk over to speak to them. Furthermore, I have something called the good friend policy, which is ask questions that require long answers. So that at the end people say, wow, you're such a good friend, and I can't believe you're such a great listener. And really what you're doing, you're taking care of your voice in a loud space. Number 3, don't smoke anything and reduce your consumption of alcohol to 0 if possible. The vocal folds evolved as a sphincter to prevent things from getting into your lungs. Whenever you smoke anything, the vocal folds get very agitated. There are myths in the singing community that if you smoke, it will give your voice character or a certain amount of rasp. And in reality, that is delusional. Your voice should have character based on who you are as an artist and the fact that when you open your mouth, you are the only person who can sing the way that you sing. If you think that smoking is going to be the answer to giving you a cool sounding voice, you are sorely mistaken. Number 4, check your prescription drugs. On the National Center for Voice and Speech's website at ncvs.org, they have a resource that is incredible. They've compiled a list of common medications and the side effects on the voice. Oftentimes, we don't think about the fact that certain medications are going to have a negative side effect on the voice. The wonderful thing about the NCVS resource is that it is free, And you can check and make sure that the medications you're taking aren't going to have a drying effect on your voice. Number 5, work with a voice teacher to healthily explore and expand upon your voice. A good voice teacher will be able to help you actualize your goals, build upon your technique, and give you the tools to have a long and healthy career as a singer. Number 6, always warm up and cool down your voice. In every lesson with my students, I record a vocal warm-up with them. That is then their vocal warm-up that they go and they sing along with over the course of the following week. With your voice teacher, record a good vocal warm-up, but also don't forget to cool down the voice. Remember, singing is an athletic adventure. You wouldn't run a marathon and then just stop cold turkey. After you're done singing, do some gentle vocalizations to cool down your voice. One of my favorites is called a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. My favorite type of semi-occluded vocal tract exercise involves a straw. This is a reusable straw that can be recycled afterwards. Start by just blowing air through the straw. That part isn't the semi-occluded vocal tract exercise part. That's just because you want to make sure air is going through the straw. Then add sound. These are fantastic. If you want to learn more about semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, just Google it. There's a ton of amazing information out there. But buzzing through straws is my absolute favorite thing to do to cool down my voice. Number 7, listen to your body and take vocal rest seriously. Richard Miller, who's a very important pedagogue in classical vocal technique, talks about the fact that after singing for a while, the voice loses some of its bloom. This might sound a little bit confusing, so let me explain. After you've been singing a bit, you might notice that your voice starts feeling a little bit tired, or the high notes are not as easy as they were 45 minutes ago. Around 45 minutes to an hour is a normal amount of time for the voice to start feeling a little bit tired. I'm not talking about feeling like you've completely trashed your voice and you're unable to speak. You're just noticing that singing isn't as easy as it was 45 minutes ago. Rest your voice. Take a little vocal nap. Go do something else for an hour, and then come back to your singing. Taking these little vocal naps throughout the day will keep the voice healthy and happy. Thank you so much again for joining us today. My name is Billy Gollner. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can click subscribe just below. If you have any questions or comments, or if there's something you'd like me to cover in a future video, please let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in taking a private singing lesson with me, online or in person, you can check more out at my website, bgvocals.com, or you can send me an email at billygollnermusic@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and peace!